The first study is called Tinnitus, Sound Intolerance and Mental Health, the Role of Long-Term Occupational Noise Exposure, and this was presented by Zara Jafari. It was an incredibly interesting talk, but I'll summarize the findings for you. So what they found was that long-term occupational noise exposure increased the severity of age-related hearing loss as well as tinnitus prevalence. So we know that people, 70% of over 70-year-olds, will have some form of wear and tear on their hearing system. But what the study is saying is that if one has long-term noise exposure within the workplace, and we're talking here about factory noise, we're talking about railway, construction, mining, so really loud levels of noise for a long period of time. And so what the study was saying is that beyond the general wear and tear of the hearing system, which is quite typical, noise exposure is going to accelerate the severity of the hearing loss, and it can accelerate the severity by 2 decades. It also increased the prevalence of tinnitus by almost double. There were actually 2 studies presented, and the second part of the study looked as noise-induced tinnitus, and they compared a group of people who had tinnitus without any particular cause, but the group that they tested were people who presented with tinnitus because of noise exposure. And so they found that the group of people who had tinnitus due to long-term occupational noise exposure had a much higher severity with the following. So with sound intolerances, with tinnitus loudness, with tinnitus related handicap, and reduced quality of life. And so what I think is really, really important is, instead of managing hearing changes once they have occurred, audiologists should be promoting the protection of hearing, particularly within the workplace, but for all people who attend concerts, people who are musicians, etc. And so we need to be proactively protecting our hearing to ensure that we are not causing any acceleration to the general wear and tear of our hearing system.